folks, and welcome to the Saturday Morning Samoflange. I'm Matt on my own again. This time, top 5 90s commercials. Did the 80s commercials last week, had a bunch of fun. Of course, like I said, my schedule's busy. Mikey, at this point, is now back from Disney World, but as the point of this recording, still in Disney World. Benjamin's still MIA, which is fine. I just have to do these to get them out there. But before, going to do a little impromptu discussion, because I got the time when talking about the top 5 90s. I don't think I can go 30 minutes on my own on top 5 90s. 80s I could, 90s probably not. But did want to talk about something else. I just recently completed a 60-day diet. It was last week, as of this podcast when it comes out. Finished it. It was something, I usually do a 30-day diet in January. The reason why is because in starting Thanksgiving all the way through Christmas, I eat whatever I want. And I mean, it's cookies, candy, ice cream, everything, hot chocolate to the eggnog, all the way to the max, and I don't, I just splurge on everything, eat whatever I want. Now, gain a little weight, pants start getting a little tight, and then I go on the diet, and I'm fine for the rest of the year. I don't know why. Well, because the move and everything, I skipped it. I just didn't feel like doing it, and it was shame. I thought, you know what? My pants are tight. Yes, here we go again. But we've got so much to do. We've still got to, unload. We've still got to get everything settled in. I don't want to be, going on this diet, being aggravated, being a little bit weaker, not having as much energy, and having to do everything that needs to be done. And then by the time January's over, it's like, well, I can't do it for February because I'm about to have the kids. I'm making excuses for myself. And the whole time I'm thinking, I can do it. I'll lose a little weight. Boy, I waited way too late, because in March I already knew it was a mistake, because I had to buy some bigger pants, a size bigger, and I could hardly fit in those. Even those were tight. All my pants were super tight. I was very uncomfortable in my own clothes. I hate that, and I curse myself as I should not have done this. I'm doing it for 2 months now as penance for not doing it, so it'll teach me a lesson. As of this recording is actually the last day of the diet here, and I'm feeling a little sick, but that's because I was saving up some of my protein bars for the last day, and I kind of gorged myself on protein bars like as a little treat, because I kind of starved myself the past few days just so I could stock up and have a really protein-packed diet, but I think I've made my stomach sick off them. So feeling a little sick too on the last day. Overall, big success. Probably should just stopped at 6 weeks. The last 2 weeks, I think I lost so much weight. You couldn't tell. No one could really tell, but I could tell, because now my belt loop it can't go any tighter, and my pants are still sagging on everything. I tried on I have one pair of jeans left I did not throw away, because they're too small for me. The waist is too small, but it goes with my Indiana Jones costume. And I don't know why I kept the pants. I should have thrown them away. But I was like, man, I bought these, for the Indiana Jones costume. I'm just going to keep it because it's part of the Indiana Jones costume. And I tried them on. I tried them on. They fit perfectly without a belt, and they're a little loose, not loosey-goosey, but a little loose. They're not snug either. So it's a perfect fit, a size below me. So I have exceeded my goal. My goal is a waist 36, which is what I've been since shortly after college. I went from a 32 to a 36. I skipped 34, really, and never looked back. And back in the day, I used to do these little diets that would get me back into a 34. Because I thought, well, now that I'm not a 32, I must be a 34. But I went from 32 to 36. And 36 waist is what I try to keep at. Even though right now I can fit into 34, I am proud to say. It won't be for long, though. I get off the diet, it'll be back to 36. Those pants will not fit me for very long. I may as well wear them this weekend. Just say I wore them a little bit, those 34s. I had to give away or throw away some really nice 34 jeans that I bought right out of college. And I just bought them too, and I could not fit into them, and that's why I kept dieting, so I could fit into them, and it just wasn't worth it after a while. But I couldn't throw them away because they're so nice. I can't remember what type of jeans they were, but they were just really nice feeling jeans. I don't know if they maybe in corduroy for all I know, but I remember they were just awesome pants. I loved them, but can't wear them. Should have bought a size bigger, right? But anyway, I do this diet. I don't starve myself at all. Of course, when you go on a diet, your body starts craving things. After week 1, the cravings go away. Week 2, you're not seeing any difference. You're not seeing any difference until week 3. Week 3, you start to see a little wiggle room. Like, oh, my pants are fitting me comfortably. I still need a belt, but at least I don't suffocate when I get into them, which I was. When I was going out, taking the girls out places, besides I wore my pajamas and my little stretchy gym shorts every day around the house. My mom was like, oh, is it PJ day again? No, I'm too fat to fit in anything else because none of my clothes fit me anymore. None of my pants fit me anymore. And, boo-hoo. I only have myself to blame. So, strict diet, fish, chicken, or eggs, mainly eggs. I could eat eggs all the time. In fact, off this diet, I do plan on eating more eggs, lunches and stuff while I'm still around the house. They're just hard to cook when you're at home because it takes a while, and I usually don't have, I have zero time. I'm going to try to make the time now. Now I have to make it time because of the diet, but when I'm not on the diet, it's so easy just to grab a sandwich or something, fast food or something, something you don't have to, prepare because you don't have the time. Well, I'm going to hopefully still make the time to prepare those decent meals because I love my little egg scramble. I've eaten my egg scramble for at least a whole month. So more than half the time I've had that egg scramble. It's egg, spinach, mushrooms, and onions all mixed together. Jalapenos in there too. Hot sauce, Mexican hot sauce thrown in there too. The Valentina hot sauce. And it's wonderful. I do eat that. I have eaten that every day. Ate it today. Finish up the last of the spinach, the eggs, not the onion, but everything else. It was delish. And, so things like that I eat. And I'm fine. Of course, you're missing certain, sugars and stuff from your diet. Yeah, I don't do sugars and stuff. And it's a low carb one too. I'm consuming half the calories that I usually need. And my little sweet treat has been zero cola. I'll have 1 zero cola a day, which is my dessert at the end of the night. Now here's the deal, and I drink tons of water, but here's the deal though. When I get off the diet, I was not drinking Coke. I was not drinking carbonated beverage. I'm a big carbonated beverage guy, I used to be, but before the diet, I was not drinking them. I was like, I just don't want it. I just don't want cola. We had colas in there that'd been like a couple of months old, just because no one was drinking them. And when I got on this diet again, I was like, man, I want something sweet. So then I started getting the zero drinks again and getting back into them. Will I still want them when I'm done? To be fair, I'm kind of sick of them right now. I mean, I want something. My body's still screaming for something sweet, so that's what I get. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't think I would want sodas anymore when I get off this, because now I'll be able to have like a little treat, a little thing of ice cream, a little candy or an M&M, a handful of M&Ms. I'll have something else to supplement that. So I probably will not drink soda again. Soda very much. I'll go back to drinking it lightly. But the last 2 weeks of the diet were kind of, pointless, because at this point, my body, and I figured it out, it's hit starvation mode. It's hanging on to the last bit of fat and refusing to let it go. Like, I've always had a little bit of a pooch afterwards. You can't tell when I'm wearing a shirt, but, in the mirror at the shower, you go, ooh, a little bit of a poochy gut there, Wilkins. And, the dad bod, as they say. And it's always bothered me. I was like, man, if I could have gone just a few more weeks, I would have gotten rid of this too. No, your body firms up. Now, that has to be done with good old-fashioned exercise. Gotta do the stomach crunches, gotta do the belly exercises, gotta do the cardio. You gotta work hard on it. Well, on a low-calorie diet, of course, you don't have many calories to burn, and you're not gonna have that much energy to work out. So I don't, besides walking, doing some low activity, moving around, doing chores, mowing the grass, probably the hardest thing I do. I don't do hard workouts. I got my workout videos ready to roll. Starting tomorrow, and the cardio, the stomach ones. And that's really what my stomach needs at this point. It needs to build some muscle mass to help burn off that fat, because that fat is going to stay there, because now my body's thinking, oh my gosh, we've never been, because now we're back to what I call normal. We're actually below normal, but I don't know if everyone knows this, when you get off a diet, you're going to gain 10 pounds back immediately. Just about. So, It's about where my body hasn't been this low on fat for a very long time, and now it's kind of going, whoa, wait a minute, no, we need to conserve fat. Matt's dying. Because my cravings came back after week 7, which I was very disappointed about. I was like, wait, why am I getting hungry again? Usually I'm full. Why am I hungry? Because my body's like, no, we're putting our foot down. We can't lose any more weight, Matt. And so even the last week was probably even more pointless than before. And I've been counting down the days, and I am happy. Usually when on the last day, I'm like, no, I want to go further. I don't want to take that. I'm going to reward myself with a Pib, the only Pib I have left in the fridge left. I drank the second to the last one right before the diet, so I'm going to have a Pib, which I hope I'll like cola by then. And by tomorrow, I'll enjoy it a little bit. And then I'm going to have a big old bowl of Cheerios, regular plain Cheerios. And whenever I take that first bite, I always get nervous. I'm like, oh, here we go, because we're starting over again. But tomorrow, no, I'll gladly eat that bowl. I can't wait. I look forward to it, getting off the diet. Again, I'm not making myself miserable or anything. Just making a goal because I want to stay in the same size. And this is what I have to do. Small sacrifice. I had to punch myself a little bit extra. And like I said, tonight, feeling really sick, gorged on the excess protein bars. Bad idea. Stomach really messed up. In fact, tomorrow my stomach's going to be like, oh, let's poop twice a day. Let's not poop every other day. Let's poop, every hour on the hour. I bet it's going to be like. And I got to go on a trip too tomorrow. I thought about this. This is probably not all good. Better take it super easy tomorrow. But anyway, my stomach's feeling it because like I said, I tried to eat those protein bars in moderation. But, my body's like, ooh, protein, let's get these. These have good stuff in it. These have a little bit of calories in it and carbs in it too. And, stuffing them down, not the best. That did not make sense. I mean, it made sense at the time, but I'm paying the consequences now. Not getting the meat sweats, but the protein sweats here. And to think about it, because I was saving up my protein. It's something I do at the end. I'll skip it. If I don't use a protein bar, I get to eat it at the end of the last day of the diet. I get to, gobble up whatever protein bars and, almost like candy bars, whatever are left. And that means double rations. Well, I saved up for the last 4 days, kind of starved myself a little bit, thinking I'll just eat a protein bar every 2 hours or every hour. I'll just eat a protein bar. And the first one I ate 2 in the first hour, then I ate one another hour, and I was like, ooh, no, that's too much at one time. But I've always thought about making a video of my egg scramble, even though everyone's going to look at it and go, Matt, that's not really cooking. That's throwing things in a pan and stirring it around. True. But I'm so proud of that because it tastes so good. And my brother-in-law was over here. When was this? Oh, gosh, it was a month ago now. He was here a month ago, saw me making my egg scramble, thought it smelled delicious, and said, that looks awesome. To me, it looks like vomit because the hot sauce makes it all kind of gross and everything with all the green and stuff. He's like, that looks amazing. I was like, really? And I said, I would have offered you some. I could have made you some more. I served myself 6 eggs. I mean, it ain't a small scramble, but it's half a dozen eggs. But I said, well, next time I'll make you some. He's like, yeah, I think I'd like that. He said, if I was on a diet, I want something I could eat. Yeah, me too. I don't sit there and force food into my mouth. If I get tired of fish, I'm done with fish. If I get tired, I actually bought some chicken, and I didn't eat it all because I'm going to eat that, on regular, off the diet too. But even buy some chicken too. And sometimes I got to wean myself off chicken but eggs, I never grow tired of eggs. Even served it a different, just with salt and pepper. I think I just had straight eggs one night with salt and pepper. And I was like, you know what? This is good. Just eggs are good. They're so good. All right. So anyway, but that's my diet. You can't tell on the streams, on the TV, because I really haven't lost that much weight. And no one can tell seeing me because I wasn't obese. But I knew that it would hurt to fit in my jeans. And it hurts my heart when I can't fit in my jeans. I want to be comfortable in jeans. So, but now pants are falling off me. It's kind of annoying. So I know after week 1 or whatever, when I'm off the diet, my pants will start fitting regularly with a belt. But again, I know it's going to happen again in December. I can't help it. I don't stop it. I always have fun. But I know now, never skip. Not that it was hard. What was it? The girl's birthday party yeah, I missed out with. I had to throw away so much food because no one in this house eats leftovers but me. There's so much food. So many trays of food had to be thrown away. Made me sick throwing away that food. Pouring out milk, which is like pouring out $100 bills. Stuff like that. Stuff that I would usually eat, but no one else. Yogurt. Throwing away yogurt. Cartons of yogurt. Oh, kills me. Every time I go into the fridge, I'm like, I got to throw this away. More and more. Oh, tons of fruit because I can't do fruit. So I was like, and then tomorrow I have a ton of snacks in the snack cabinet of bags that they've probably all gone stale. I was feeding my girls these chips, and I felt bad because my sister had one. She said, "Oh, Matt, these are super stale." I went, "Oh, are they?" And I threw them away. I said, "Hey, can you try this real quick?" She went, "Yeah, those are stale too." I said, "Good." I threw those away too. So I have some extra bags. If the chips I'm going to try chips tomorrow, and if they're stale, I'm just going to throw them away. But I'm like, all those chips, the half-open bags. My wife opened up a bag, eat a few, and then never eat from it again. She bought pork rinds a long time ago. I hope they've still kept because they're the spicy kind that I love. But it's been over a month now. They're probably done for. But I'm gonna do a taste test in the morning and start throwing the other snacks away, which is gonna hurt my heart one more time. But at least, I'll start picking up on, and there's still one dinner that someone made us a long time ago when the babies were born that we haven't touched yet because I'm not going to feed it to my family because they're only going to eat it once and then I'm going to have to throw it away. So I saved it to when I get off the diet, then we can all eat it together, have a nice, yummy, dinner, chicken spaghetti, I think is what it is, and then I'll eat the leftovers. Goodness gracious. But, anyway, and we were, like I said, we were very blessed to have so many people prepare us dinners for 3 weeks. After it was 2 weeks from my church, 1 week from her family, 1 week from my family, and some people from work. So, yeah, it was about a month. People were giving us dinners and everything, which was just really awesome. Really awesome. Really appreciate that. But anyway, so that's the deal with me right now. I wanted to give that update because, of course, when I'm talking about 90s, I'm still talking about the top 5 90s commercials here. I can do it now, but I knew the 90s I wasn't going to talk about as much as I would talk about the 80s commercials. 90s commercials was not hard to come up with. There are only 5 that I had on here that I knew instantly. There is one that I cannot find on YouTube. I cannot find it because there are so many of these commercial types, but it was a specific commercial. I looked everywhere for it on YouTube, can't find it, but I know it exists because I still remember the lineup from it. But let me. I'm skipping ahead though because that was number 4. Let me go to number 5. Number 5 is a popular one. All these I think are popular, except for the number 4. All these everyone knows. It's Slim Jim commercials. Randy Savage, Macho Man. Ooh, snap it to a Slim Jim. And man, Slim Jims were cool. That was the beef jerky. That was the upper echelon. In my mind, Slim Jim is number 1. Name another beef jerky. Boyo Burka. Is Sasquatch a jerky? I don't even know what that. Jack Links? I don't remember. I don't know what the other beef jerkies are out there. I don't know the names of them. But I know Slim Jim, and that's because of Macho Man. And he was all in the garb, Slim Jim covers, and every once in a while, yeah, I snap it to a Slim Jim when I'm in the grocery store. I'll pick one up. Dollar Tree, absolutely. The jalapeno ones, the regular ones, those are pretty tasty. And I'll snap it to a Slim Jim. But I'm almost positive that Mikey had that on his top 5. I'd be shocked if he didn't. But that one's kind of iconic, and that's why it's on the list here. And it was the second one I thought about, because I wrote these in order. The second one I thought about, and I was like, well, okay. When I thought about the others, okay, I'd put all these above that one. But Slim Jim, Macho Man, not any particular commercial. I know he did several of them. Not any particular one, but just at the end, oh yeah, stab it to a Slim Jim. Yeah, yes, that was a terrible Randy Savage impersonation, by the way. But just the catchphrase was awesome. All right, so number 4, the one I wanted to talk about here. This one, it's really rough because I cannot find it on YouTube. I know it exists somewhere, but it's like a collection of 80s hits. And it came out in the 90s, and they made so many of these 80s collections. Because I said, I tried to type in everything trying to find it. I looked through several commercials of the best of 80s country, 80s today, 80s whatever, and I could not find it. But I remember, I wish I had Jesse's girl. Whoa, here she comes. She's a man eater. It's just another maniac Monday. As all the songs would be, floating by on the screen, they'd play a few of the excerpts in each one. She seems to have invisible touches. And then it switched to the next song, whatever that one was on the track. Skipping over a bunch of other ones too, but the one it was singing, it would be highlighted in like yellow where the rest of them were white going on the screen. You probably saw these two back in the day and you probably don't care. But that one, to me, whatever it was called, I remember those were, all the songs I just sung were part of the highlights of this 80s collection, whatever it was called. It may not be called 80s, but it was an early to mid 90s commercial about the best of the 80s or something like that. But I just remember we watched that commercial so much. We sang all those songs in that order. She seems to have invisible touches. I wish that I had Jesse's girl. Oh, here she comes. She's a man eater. It's just another maniac Monday. We would sing through all the greatest hits in that order. I just thought it was funny because then even some of those songs which I may not have heard, like Invisible Touch, I'd never heard before, but I tracked it down years later, when Napster was around, just to listen to it because I remembered it from that commercial. And like all those songs, the ones I didn't or weren't as familiar with, I tracked down and would listen to and go, oh yeah, wow, this is a really cool song. But it's because of that album, because of that best of album. The sad thing is, again, there are so many of these collections out there, and I enjoyed watching them, but none of them were the one, because I don't even remember what was on. I don't remember the album cover. I want to say it was blue or gray, but that's the thing. I just can't remember. I just remember that those songs were on it, and it's just hard when you say 80s collection commercial because, like I said, 500 commercials pop up, and none of them seem to be the one that I wanted there. But that one, for its reason, would be number 4. Now, an honorable mention. Oh, I forgot to say honorable mention here is the Diesel Driving Academy. Just because of the jingle, dial 1-800-555-6900 Diesel Driving Academy. They'd sing their thing, and I remember that jingle was really nice. The commercials weren't. If we were doing top 5 jingles, that's something different. Jingles to me is a different category. I mean, maybe we ought to go back and do jingles next time, but. That would be a great jingle, but then I realized the commercial itself probably just sucked. I don't remember anything of the commercial. All I remember was the 1-800-555-6900, Diesel Driving Academy. I got to sing it all. when I sing it. But that is, I want to mention that one as an honorable mention. Now, these next 3, I don't see why anyone would not remember these and why they wouldn't be in your top 5. But this one was probably, 2 of these may have been Super Bowl, I don't know. But this one, number 3, Budweiser, Was Up. Was up. Who did not do that? Remember when you could call 3-way calling, 4-way calling, party line or whatever, dial up another number, bring them on the phone? You would do that just so you could always say, was up. And you did that all the time. My buddy, Bruce's brother, Will, who was my roommate for years, and when he wasn't my roommate, he was on and off my roommate. When he wasn't my roommate, he'd call me up all through the 90s, all through the 99, even into the early 2000s, and go, what's up? That's how he'd always answer the phone. When he knew it was me, or when he was calling, I go, what's up? And we used to do that all the time. We made our own little commercial. I did the video camera out. We all did the what's up? What you doing, dude? Nothing. Chilling. Watching the game. Yeah, chilling. Watching the game. Having a bud. Watching the game or whatever it was. It was just a funny commercial, but it was so impactful because, like I said, everyone was doing the what's up. If you are a child of the 90s or 80s, you did was up too. You know it. And if you say you didn't, you're lying. You're lying because everyone did the what's up. All right. My number 2. This one's a Bud Ice commercial. Bud Ice was the official drink of my cousin for the longest. That's what he thought was the best drink ever. In college, all he drank was Bud Ice. He thought that was just the creme a la creme for him. But Bud Ice had these commercials. They were the Bud Ice Penguins. And you just type in Bud Ice Penguins and you'll see several commercials. My favorite one is the Penguins are calling from a payphone. They're calling this dude and they go, "Hey, buddy, how's your Bud Ice? Doobie doobie doo." And that was, singing Strangers in the Night and freaking him out. That was so funny. Me and my brother would laugh hysterically every time it played. To this very day, when I call him, now I don't call him that much. I call him maybe twice a year, only see him once a year, but I only call him twice a year. He never has ever answered his phone, but the message I leave on it every time to this day that I have for years, like, "Hey, Bray, how's your Bud Ice? Doobie doobie doo, da 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 doobie doo," and I just hang up while I'm singing it. But the thing is that he doesn't drink Bud Ice. I don't know if he drinks, period, or drinks Bud Ice, especially, or beer. But we just love that commercial. We still, it's kind of our inside joke. We still laugh about it. He'll call me back laughing or leave me a message back laughing about it. He's like, "Oh, man, such a great commercial. Doobie doobie doo." It says that again. So that's why it's number 2. It's that high. We just had so much fun with it. It's still, like the M&Ms, it's still a part of my life today. But unlike the M&Ms, it doesn't get my number 1 spot. Now, I'll be honest, I don't think I mentioned this. Was Up, it was 3rd on my list, and it was written down 3rd. It was the 3rd commercial I thought about. The Bud Ice one, Penguins, I forgot about, and it was the 5th one I listed here. And I was like, "Oh yeah, the Bud Ice Penguins," but it's number 2. Now, number 1 may not come as that big a surprise. I know I've mentioned number 1 several times before. In other podcasts and other things, I've made jokes about it on Prince of the Universe, on Saturday Morning Samoflange. When I reveal it, everyone's going to be like, "Oh yeah, I should have known." That's why I kind of miss having co-host here. Because I know Mikey and probably Benjamin both would have gone, "Dad gummit." They may have even written it down and called it ahead of time. But it is the number 1. There is because I do think it's funny, but very impactful. It is the Cindy Crawford Pepsi commercial. I thought this was an 80s commercial for the longest, but it was a 1990 or 91 commercial. Just type in Cindy Crawford Pepsi. Make sure your wife's not watching. And watch it again and again and again. She's gorgeous. She's the most gorgeous woman in the world at the time. She is getting out of a red convertible. There's these 2 boys who are watching her from a fence post. And she goes up to a Pepsi machine. She gets a Pepsi. She drinks from the Pepsi, slow motion, gorgeous again. And the 2 boys are just looking at the fence and going, "Wow. That Pepsi looks amazing." That may have been a Super Bowl commercial. I don't know. I never watched Super Bowl back then. I guffawed when my jaw dropped too. I was like, "Oh!" I think that's the first time I found out who Cindy Crawford was. Like, "Oh my Lanta," because I was just as gapped, slack-jawed like the 2 boys in the commercial. And then when they said, "That Pepsi looks amazing," I laughed so friggin' hard. I think it's such a funny commercial. And, hey, my wife loves Pepsi, and I'll drink a Pepsi over a Coke, even though RC is my favorite. But Pepsi, they did a lot of great commercials, a lot of memorable commercials. There's a lot of good ones out there. But nothing, and I mean nothing, beats the Cindy Crawford commercial for me. That is why it's numero uno on my 90s list here. Hey folks, what is your top 5 commercials from the 90s? Just like you did last week, you can list them out for me. I would greatly appreciate if you could if y'all can put links into the other YouTube videos so I can look up those commercials as well. because I'd love to watch these commercials as well. And who knows, maybe someone had a commercial that I didn't think of that should have been on my list. All right, folks, I'll see you next time on Saturday Morning Samoflange.